All right, guys, we're here with Steven and, of course, John. And we are talking about how Steven was able to close his first merchant services deal with us. And so far for Steven, we've given him two booked leads from our booked appointment location finding service. And Steven was able to close one of those leads successfully and actually close that merchant. So, first off, Steven, welcome to the interview and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, John, as well.
Of course. And so let's start off here. You want to give people maybe a quick, 30, 45-second intro about kind of who you are, where you live, what you do, and kind of what got you interested in merchant services.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Steven Penagos. I started with merchant automation back in August, and when I came across on the Facebook page of with merchant automation, it got me into completely like directly because I used to work for Chase, the credit cards department. So like I kind of have an idea of how credit cards work. I'm like, well, this makes much more sense when I started reading through the mini courses and so yeah, that's how I got into, I came across, I think, after that. So it just like clicked.
Yeah.
And so basically, yeah, so I've been in the customer service for quite some time now, maybe around 7 to 8 years. I used to be a flight attendant and went into security industry and then into the financial industry. And then I'm still in the customer service role, and that's what I like. I like to help. I like to service others and provide value now that I know this company and service that we can provide to small business owners.
Great. Awesome, man. And so let's kind of walk us through, right? Walk us through the two leads that we did deliver in terms of our booked appointment package and kind of how each of them went, and also any specific details that you want to share about what worked or maybe didn't work for those leads.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So one of the two that I can share, the most recent one that I can share, the first one, it's a tire shop. Both of them were a tire shop, right? And so I kind of, the merchant automation provided me with the lead, all the information that I needed, through a Microsoft, um, sheet, and everything is in detail. So I went through it, I overview, making sure that I know who was the owner, the address, and the time that I needed to call just to, make sure. So the first one, I, did everything that I was advised, like in a way to make sure that I follow up with them um, the quickest possible because like that's one of the keys that I've been learning on this program, like follow up.
Mhm.
Uh, and so I call and she said, yeah, you can come. And so I went to this place. It was like around maybe 30 to 40 minutes away from where I live. And it was perfect. Went inside. She was really nice. Welcomed me, and she was a little bit hesitant to have me that I offer her like a percentage that she already had, um, and it wasn't much. So she like okay. She said first, okay, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to my partner, my husband, and possibly that will work. But then eventually didn't work, because the husband was like, no, that's too little, and I'm like, you know, went back to her and trying to, so this is the beginning, right? So this is my first lead. I'm learning. I'm trying to get a hang of it. Like, okay, did the right thing? Did I follow up correctly? Did I introduce the program correctly? And and I took that as a first step, like because I didn't know the industry much, just coming out of the the training and then putting it to work, the action now, and like okay, well if this didn't happen, at least like I already know like how I did it, and I kept that on the back of my hand, and and like okay, I just move on. Merchant automation, the team with robotics, grateful and helpful, very supportive, calling back and forth. How can I? approach the next lead if it ever comes. And so that talking with John, getting a grip, excuse me, a lot of information in my head, so I know I'm much more prepared than the first one, right? Because sometimes it's not the first one. Um, you just got to get through it. It's a
Yeah,
learning experience.
quick question, Stephen. On
Mhm.
that one, did you say that they were already on the cash discount?
Yeah, so the first one, they were already on a cash discount.
At what percentage were they on?
They were around three,
Okay.
3.5. But then she's like, no, if we're gonna do five, then it's not okay. Well, the husband said like, no, if it's only 1 or 2% not, then we're not gonna do it. So I said, well, we can work something out later. But then, I kind of got busy, and then, back and forth, and then she didn't end up not, signing up.
Yep.
So, but that was a learning experience for me.
Yes. And one thing I say is you can always follow up. You can always call that person back and say, "Hi, just wanted to give you a call, just to let you know I'm still here. I'm the local agent in the area. If you and your husband ever have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. We got some new programs coming up here in the near future, so don't be a stranger. I'll be here." And then you'll be surprised one day they'll be like, "I saw these fees on my statement. What can you come tell me what's going on with these?" And that's your way in.
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. Some live
Mhm.
coaching on an interview. I love it.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you. No, that is so true.
Right. And then also, yeah. So, but there was, I do want to remember when we first talked and you were like, John, like, like after the first one you were kind of like, oh my gosh, this is harder than what I thought, like I really need I need this program to work for me, and I don't know if it's going to work. And you were very discouraged, and I was like, man, he's so discouraged. I was trying to give you a little bit of words of encouragement, but then you kind of disappeared for like a week, and I was like, oh wow, I was wondering what's going on with Steven. And then all of a sudden he texts me. He's like, John, I got one. I'm like, yeah, I'm going in. I'm talking to Rita. I'm building her trust, and I'm doing this. And I'm like, oh wow, that was like a huge
Yeah,
turnaround from 1 week.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
tell us about how your turnaround went.
Yeah, so the turnaround, and so the first one got me to the Rita, the second lead, right? That's when I call you, and just trying to get more prepared than the first one. And you gave me the perfect advice. You just gotta, talk through them and explaining the value, explaining everything that what we offered, and like an advice of how to approach. So I did that, and of course in my own, like, okay, I'm gonna get there, and I already knew from the first one like how to do better than what I did, how I presented myself to the first one. So this one, Rita, is a tire shop. It's they rebuild cars, remodel cars, and they sell them again, all that good stuff. um Very challenging, much challenging than the first one, Rita, because I'm the 10th merchant service she's been with.
Hmm.
So she has 18 years of having this business open, and she does all the accounting, everything herself. So she knows every detail, every plus or minus of the business when it comes to merchant services, because she's the one that reviews everything and the statements. So not so good experiences that she had with merchant services, because they will say one thing and then she will review it and then she will see something different. And I was thinking, like, I don't know where confidence came, and knowing the program and the advice from John and everyone. I'm like, I told her this like directly to her eyes, like, I'm gonna be the 10th one and the last one, and I'm gonna be back to this business with you, and we're going to review the statement, and we're going to assure you that we're going to save you that processing fees and the monthly fees that you're getting. So she was getting around $400 a month with this other merchant, and a few other charges that she was so surprised that she didn't know. they were not clear enough or clarify that she was going to get those fees. So she's been through all this with other merchant services. I'm back and forth, following up if any other day that she will call me, like, are you sure? Are you going to you do that? You're gonna save me on this? Are you gonna take that? You're not gonna charge me for this debit or a monthly fee? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that because I already know that you've been through so much, and I really want to give you this option because it's real. It's this is what the company is doing for small businesses, saving you, the business owner, on credit card processing fees. So she's like, okay, let's do it. And so I kind of jotted down a little bit on a piece of paper, what we talk about, like we're just gonna do 3.5 on credit cards and no debit cards, 0, and I'm not gonna charge you, on anything. Trying to give her a little bit more value, added up value on top. So she, she's at ease with what she's been through already. So
Yeah, and just really quickly, Aaron. So what we did with this account,
Hmm.
we did a hybrid, and it's something she requested. So what we did is essentially we're going to charge 3.5 on credit cards, but if any of our customers pay with PIN debit,
Hmm.
where they put their PIN number in, we're not going to charge.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
And that way she can tell the customer, if you pay with PIN debit, we're not going to charge you. Any credit cards, we do charge 3.5%. So that's a hybrid, and that's kind of something that she requested, and Stephen worked it out with her, and we were able to get it done.
yes,
But
absolutely.
a quick, how many times did you visit and follow up with her?
Oh, so we're talking about maybe more than 5 times, either
Hmm.
presently or through the phone. More than 5 times because, like I said, she's been through a lot with other merchant services. So she was like, "Nah, okay, what you're gonna bring me, maybe it's not right, it's not true because you already experienced bad experiences with other merchant services." So I'm here trying to regain her trust, trying to build a relationship again, and making sure that I'm truthful to what I'm saying and with the team. So I'm back and forth with John and the team, like, hey, this is what she's needing. Um, um, uh, this is what we need to provide. If it's possible, can we do this? Can we do that? Back and forth communicating in there. And so to my surprise, maybe the fourth or the fifth time, she agreed. She just said yes. Okay, I want to go with you. And so I'm like so happy. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I remember I'm sitting down in the car. And like, oh wow, she said yes. And
Hmm.
and then I got in contact with John, text him, and started explaining all the details of what we needed to close, the deal, how to correctly set it up and everything. And so we did. I remember when she said yes, she said, like, if this is correct, and if we can do what you said, and then I'm gonna refer you to just talk to one of my partners here, the next location right next to me. She showed me her statement. She's paying around $10,000 a month on just processing fees, and she got so surprised that she said, like, if um that she's gonna refer me to this guy. She said, like, oh, I have this guy Steven came in the other day. We've been trying to work through, eliminate some of these fees that are being charged for this other merchant service, and he can help you to not get those $10,000 a month. Like, that's insane. Like, she was so completely, like, surprised out of that, because sometimes they don't check on the statements. They just pay and they think, is what it is, and they just pay. So after her, so we have, like, another lead by a reference, like, because we're keeping it true, we're keeping it clear, we're keeping it open, and open communication back and forth throughout, like, the whole circle.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think what you convey is that you're there to help. You know, you have that, you're conveying that energy to her that, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. And that's one of the key things sometimes it takes people a long time to get that, to get that you know, stop doing sales and just start being real and just convey to them that, hey, I mean, I just want to help you, and
Uh,
really have that energy. And I think that's what got you through it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank God. And yeah, yeah, it's part of the mindset, right? What I've been learning mindset.
Mhm.
It's all about how you put it out there, and how you start building that relationship, and you open up the eyes of the business owner, and yeah, that's so true. Um, I'm not a salesperson. I try to truly help the customer, truly help the, now that I'm in business, now the business owner. But all thanks to our merchant automation and John. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I have another question, because we get a lot of people that are like, hey, um, they give up after the first no, or the first first hurdles that they see, uh, you know, but something tells you to push through. What gave you that? Like, okay, I'm just gonna push through. I'm not gonna listen to the no's. I'm just gonna keep pushing through.
Uh, that's a very good question. So of course I have my family that I want to care for. That's number one. Um, and I don't know, it's just I think I have like that um build in me of helping others. And if there is a way and there is a door to help others, then let me provide that door to whoever needs it in any way. So it I like business too. I think my dad was a business owner. He was a business owner in Colombia. He kind of have that in his blood. He passed it on to me. So I have that from him. So I think that has got me through where, like, okay, if it is a no, and of course, because I've been learning through the program, and all of you, the team, is just to keep pushing. And I have taken it in a good way where like the first lead that I had, she was okay, yes, but then no. And I'm like, okay, how can I do better? Um, and it's always that first lead or that first step you take is going to take you to the one that is truly yours. Um, you just got to do the first step. Like it's the hardest. Like that is so true. The first step, the first lead of faith is the hardest. After you take that, like everything starts like going in place. Because why is that? I had a challenging business owner where I said like if I was able to build a relationship, build trust with her, where she comes from bad experiences, then all the other ones are gonna be super easy. Like
Yeah.
the first one it seemed like easy and challenging sometimes, but then it led me to the right one where I learned even more. Um, and so what pushes me is to help, really help, and learn and build
Yeah.
something for myself and my family.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the thing I tell people is like, hey, look, even I tell them, look, because sometimes they signed up and they're ready to roar, and I'm like, okay, practice with your friends, practice with certain clients, start talking to people, get those no's, so you learn how to answer those no's. Once you learn how to answer them, it's going to become a lot easier.
Yeah,
And then the other key is, I always tell them, look, even if you don't sign an account and you went to a lead, you can ask that person if they know any other business owners that they can refer to you,
yeah,
because that is key. And like this lady, the one that you signed, she's going to refer you somebody already. And you didn't even ask her, but since you're doing such a great job, she's offering it to you. But in other situations, I've had people where they've gone to a lead and they did not close that particular lead, but they said, hey, you're fine with your processing, everything's good. But do you know of any other people that are in your industry that you could refer to me? And they're surprised when they get a referral.
Yeah,
And that's key to building up your pipeline and getting more accounts as well.
that is so true. And that builds your network, your network. Yeah, yeah, your
Absolutely.
networking and to be, just after that lead or after that, you service that business owner or customer, the follow up is very important. Like that's the major thing, the key. Follow up, keep the communication open, anything that they need, and and yeah, and yeah, she just like, oh no, I'm gonna refer you, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this right from the beginning, so I start building, relationship with other business owners.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it. Good stuff, man. Any last words before we wrap up here? Any kind of words of advice just for somebody who might be watching this and they're still trying to close their first deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the advice is just go out there. Um, if you don't go out there, you can call out. Just take that first step. Take the first step. Try not to like overthink because when I first started, like I was overthinking, but then I just like, okay, let's just go. And then how it came out, you learn. Like that's what that's what the key is. Like just go and learn and 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 go from there. Because the first step is going to lead you to the second and to success, to be honest. So advice, be open-minded. Don't overthink. Um, Push. It's gonna learn. You're gonna learn from the first one, the second one, third one, and the ball starts rolling. Don't be don't fear. Like just don't be afraid of success. Um, Go out of your comfort zone. Um, Try your best, and that's the success, I think. Just keep pushing. Don't give up on anything.
Yep. One of the key things I like that Steven said earlier was mindset. Going back to the videos that we have and the merchant automation, you can go back and you go to a client and they said no for this particular reason. You didn't have a rebuttal at the time, and you're stuck, so you just leave the place. But you can go back and study the merchant automation. You can go back and get your mindset right. You can go back and ask us, hey, how do I handle this? The next time somebody says that to you, you're gonna know how to handle it.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
yep. So every person you talk to is practice. It's like, if you're looking at an NBA player that's playing 80 games a year, okay, and they're practicing, and then you have LeBron James that is practicing on the off season, to get better for the next season. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the work that you put in to make yourself better, to practice. The more you practice, the better you're going to become. Your skills are sharpened, and then your mindset, having that mindset sharp and ready to go.
Absolutely, that is completely true. Mindset, educate, read a lot, go through what's your passion, and then just go through it, and it's all about mindset. That's absolutely correct. I even built my own business cards, if you can see it here, just in case I have it in handy.
Awesome. They
Very
look
cool.
good.
Yeah.
And networking and communication,
And you're in Orlando,
I'm in
Steven?
Orlando, yeah. I'm in
Okay,
Orlando.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so no, I'm fearless right now after this first business that I closed because like Steven, if you did it with this merchant services, because like this business owner is already known on banks as well. How to assist her, how to work with her, patience, a lot of patience.
Yep.
But I'm like,
Patience is key.
if I did it any other, I can do it now going forward. You learn from that.
Absolutely. And the
Yes.
sky's the limits now. Now you just got to duplicate it.
Yeah, yeah. No, just if anyone out there is thinking on joining, it's a great program. If you're an entrepreneur, a starter, like okay, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. Then this is for you. This is for you. And it's a process. It's a process. But you will get there. And how much as you want it, you're gonna get the sky. Like the sky's the limit. So
Absolutely. One other question, Stephen. From when you joined to when you closed your first lead, how long was that?
So for me, it took around, we're talking about a month and a half. A month and a half. Just because, I was doing my own stuff here with my family. But at the same time, like I was still, getting the knowledge out of the merchant automation. I was trying, I was just beginning, like, okay. And for me at the beginning was like not clear.
You were learning. You're
I,
going through the learning process.
yeah, I was learning, and so it took me a little bit of time, but then it clicked in because, like I said, I work in the credit cards department, so like, okay, I know how it works, but then I just have to like combine them all together now. And so yeah, a month and a half, and I thought at first like, because you have fears, you have like limits sometimes in your head, like, is this going to work? And here I am, blessed for and grateful for being able to close my first deal, and learning from that first deal, like challenging deal, but I did it. Like if I was able to do it, anyone can do it.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Great job.
Thanks, Steven. I appreciate you guys, both of you hopping on to the call. A lot of value and inspiration as always. So cool. Thank you guys so much for hopping on, and we'll get this posted to the Facebook group in the next week or two.
I thank you.
Awesome. You have a great day.
Take care. All right. Bye-bye.